Rich people don't have to worry about where they'll get their next meal or if they can pay their rent on Friday, but these are directly caused by not having enough money. Rich people use their money to build infrastructure around themselves so they don't have to deal with many of the problems that regular people do. If any of these describe you, you've made it. Here are 15 things that rich people don't have to do. Rich people never have to wait in line for anything. You don't wait in line to get the new iPhone, to get into the club, to eat at a restaurant, or to go through security or board a plane like everyone else. You won't believe it, but when you go to the hospital, you don't even wait in the waiting room. Rich people get priority access to places like museums. You can skip the line if you pay a little bit more. If you pay even more, you can have your own private showing. Bring a coat or a bag with you. When you meet rich people, this is one of those things that seems strange right away. Even when it's cold outside, they only wear inside clothes and keep their credit card stuck to their phone. Why? They have a driver who takes them wherever they want to go. Since the car is outside, they are going from a place where the temperature is controlled to another place where the temperature is controlled. They don't need to bring anything with them because they're not going on a picnic. If you stop a poor person, you'll find all kinds of tools, products, and other things in their bag that would only be useful in certain scenarios. Buy any kind of ticket. You don't buy bus tickets because you don't really take the bus. Since you live in the city center, you take an Uber or, at most, walk to your location. You have a manager who takes care of all of these things, so all you have to do is tell them what you want to happen. You don't buy tickets to shows or flights, and you definitely don't buy lottery tickets. Your parents told you from a very young age that the lottery is a tax for people who can't do math. Check out the menu's price tags. When you're poor, you know exactly how much you can spend when you do go out to eat, and when you're buying with a group, you often have to do a lot of math on the spot. Rich people don't have problems like that. Whether or not they have dessert depends on how they feel, not on how much it costs. They don't have to look at the menu prices because most places have a limit on how much food will cost. For example, a Michelin-starred restaurant sample menu costs around $500 per person. If you add wine pairings and maybe caviar as a bonus, you're getting close to $1,000 per person. That is the top. So if you're happy with the roof, it doesn't really matter what's below it. There are two exceptions, and this is where the connoisseur level begins. Even rich people start to think about the price when they are in a place that is meant to make money off of them. The exclusive clubs. Mykonos is one of those places where you can buy a bottle for more than $100,000. Usually, though, those are saved for rare events. Even the richest people know that a birthday should never cost more than $500,000. There are jet hotels and clubs as well. Pay bills or do any other kind of routine work. Most wealthy people don't know how much water, power, or the internet cost. It's usually rolled into what are called living expenses, and all the paperwork is put on auto-pay or, more often than not, paid for the whole year at once. Rich people act like they're running a business. They are the CEO of their lives and set the direction and pay attention to the most important things. Then you have your executive suite, which makes sure everything works as it should. This makes them feel separate from most people because they don't know how stressful it is to have a regular payment, take a big chunk of their income every month. Answer them. Rich people write more than anyone else. Getting a call from you, unless you're a really important person calling about something urgent you wrote about earlier, is likely to be seen as rude. Why? Because you waste their time. Rich people make deals over text messages or, at most, leave voicemails. They would rather meet with you in person than talk on the phone because they have to set aside the time for you anyway, so they might as well make it fun. Even so, older people still like getting a phone call on their birthday. Have heartbreaking worry. When something breaks, the only problem for rich people is that they have to replace it or can't use it right now. They don't worry that if something is a little bit more expensive, they might not be able to pay to fix it and be left without. This is why rich people don't put cases or screen protectors on their iPhones. These kinds of goods are useful, not a sign of wealth like things that poor people have. Get to a laundry room. Most people who are born into money have never been to a laundromat because they either had staff do their laundry or at least had a washing machine at home. Also, it seems like laundromats are more of an American thing. Even though we've seen them in other countries, we don't think it's very popular to wash your clothes outside of the house. But the rich use dry cleaning services more than anyone else. When you wear a dress or suit, it goes into the worn pile. Later, you get it back folded and cleaned. And since we're talking about clothes, you can tell if someone is wealthy by whether or not they use hotel cleaning services. The hotel will wash your clothes for you, but many people don't take them up on the offer because they have to pay a little bit more for something they usually do for free. Managing money on a small scale. When you have a lot of money, you don't have to figure out how to spend $150 to cover the rest of the week. When you aren't wealthy, there's a whole mini economy going on around you. For example, this guy owes you $75, so you know you'll get that on Thursday. If you don't go out this weekend, you should be fine until you get paid on Wednesday. Those who know. People who are wealthy don't have to do that. They don't start a free trial and then stop it right away, nor do they make more than one email to get more free trials. They don't read scanned PDFs of books on a screen when the real book costs only $15. They don't worry about micromanagement or small purchases. The price is what it is because you want it right away. Of course, you wouldn't be able to do this if you didn't already know that a lot more money is always coming in, which brings us to the next point. Make yourself the master to get more money. People are right when they say that making money is easier when you already have money, especially a lot of money. Why? Well, the way they do things is different. You have to take a lot of risks with a small amount of money if you want to get rich. When you have a lot of money and are rich, you don't take many risks with it. If you have money, you can put it over and over again in relatively safe ways and spend the interest. You also have wealth managers who look for chances for you. Usually, these are creative plays that poor people don't know about. What most people do for fun, the rich do to make money. How does that work? People usually buy bags as fashion accessories or to carry things. Rich women buy a Hermes bag whose value doubles as soon as they leave the store and keeps going up over time. And the same is true of art. Most poor people think that rich people buy art to hide money or to show off in front of other rich people. But if you look more closely, you'll see that art has been a reliable way for rich people to make more money because, on average, it has done better than other famous investments like real estate or the S&P 500. We've already said that you don't have to know a lot about art to make money with it. Rich people join other private investors who have a proven track record, and then they sit back and enjoy the ride. In the past, to make money on the art market, you had to be a millionaire and know someone on the inside. No longer, though, my friend. Masterworks is a place where anyone can buy and sell art. They look for and buy blue-chip art that they think will go up in value. Like how the stock market works with companies, they divided control of each painting into shares. You can buy these shares as an investor. When the picture sells, the money from the sale goes to the investors who bought it. Their last 2 to 15 sales have all made money for their owners. If you had put $10,000 into Banksy or Kuhn's art, you would have made more than $3,000. Rich people take jobs to gain knowledge or to see how things work from the inside. This means that unlike most people who need a second job to make ends meet, you don't have to change your lifestyle to get one. So they don't have to deal with the stress of trying to please bosses, co-workers, and so many people at the same time. They don't know what it's like to rush from one job to the next or work the night shift to make extra money. Need to choose between important things. When you have money, you can have both. Do I pay the phone bill or walk to work? Is not a real question. They don't understand how someone could need something but not be able to buy it. We're going to talk about things you need, not just things you want. You just buy an outfit you need for an event. If it's very expensive or you'll never wear it again, you rent it. If you are very wealthy and have a lot of power, they will give it to you for free, just so people can see you wearing it. Upkeep or restocking. Rich people don't take their cars in for repair and wait while the mechanic checks everything and gives them an estimate. They have insurance for that. They have full protection. Someone else comes, takes their car, and then brings it back. They don't need to do anything. If you're rich, you don't even buy gas for yourself. There are services that will come to wherever your car is and fill up the gas tank. The same goes for getting it cleaned. When you wake up, your car is clean and shiny in the garage. This happens when people mow their lawns, fix up their homes, and do anything else that most people do by hand. You just figure out how much it will cost you over its whole life. Think about how to live. If they quit their job, they are no longer tied to a place of work. 60% of Americans live from paycheck to paycheck, which means they can't afford to quit their job or be let go. That means that if they need the job, they will work harder and longer if they have to. People who are rich don't need the job. So if they think they are being treated unfairly, they leave. Deal with travel rules or limits on where you can go. People with money don't have to worry about getting a visa. Almost every country has what is called a golden visa scheme that lets rich people buy passports. So basically, you spend between $250,000 and $500,000 in the country and they give you a passport. Rich people don't change their lives around travel windows because they aren't looking for a good deal on an airplane ticket. If they need to leave on a Friday, they buy the fastest ticket that's still available. If you need to leave an island because a storm is coming, or your sick child needs you at home, you can pay $25,000 for a jet and be gone in an hour. Well, from a moving point of view, the cost of travel is part of the budget for most people. Rich people usually don't care because trip costs are tax deductible, so it's paid for by their business. Now we want to keep going, and we know you've met rich people in your life. So what are some other things rich people don't have to do? What else should we include? Tell us in the comments below. And since you watched this all the way to the end, here's a bonus. They are able to get the best and most useful help. Rich people can pay for doctors who are very good. They can also pay for nutritionists, yoga teachers, and personal trainers. They can improve their image by going to relationship coaches and people who know about building a personal brand.